person is a fantastic individual, just a funny person, just a genuine, wonderful, great individual. I'm talking about myself. I love being funny. It is such a fun. No, but this individual is really great. She has a couple monikers. She's called the godmother of the Charlotte comedy scene. She is called the Queen of Clean. She's also one half of the Preacher Kids podcast. She has a Drive Bar comedy special coming out this year, unless it's already out, and I don't know. Sorry to research that much, but I think it's coming out later this year. And she's here to do just a bit of her stand-up. Before we ask her a question or two, I'd love you guys to help me by giving it up for Miss Tara Brown, everybody. Tara Brown.
Hi, everybody. Hey, Sterling, thank you so much for having me here on your first episode of your show. So exciting.
Yeah, I love having you.
I love it. I'm surprised I stayed up this late. I'm old. I don't know. But it's good. Listen, I am trying to better myself. So I recently joined a diet and fitness program, and I lost 12 pounds. Really excited. Yeah. And I knew I needed to do something because when I went to the doctor, like it didn't have such a great report because you can only play fast and loose with the carbs for so long, right? So I had a doctor's report that didn't go well. And the doctor said, you know what, we need to put you on a medication. And the side effects were yeast infections and UTIs. Okay, ladies, you know, right? Listen, had them both, not a fan. So I thought about that and I was like, let me take another look at broccoli. I think I can commit this time. I think I'm serious about it. Yeah, I'm also concerned because this year my license expires and I always get weirded out because with the eye exam, right? Eyesight is not the greatest. And they always have to send me to the eye doctor to get the eye exam. And I don't do so well there, you know, like I'm good with the first line. They're like, can you read the first line? I'm like, yes, that's a big E. Yeah. Then it's like lines 2 and below is where I get stuck. And they're like, can you read the second line? I'm like, is that a little E? I don't know, right? Then I got to thinking about that. Why do they put letters on that thing anyway, right? If I need to pass that test because I need to look out for things on the road, put things on that chart that I should look out for, right? Right? Like mailboxes or kids, small kids, or CVS. Like that's what I don't want. Right? You know, I'm outside driving and, you know, I'm looking outside and I don't see little Timmy coming on his big wheel because he's mad. He just left virtual school because his mother didn't pack the right Lunchable for him. And I don't see him coming at me in his tricycle because I'm busy looking for a big E. You know what I'm saying? So put a little Timmy on that eye chart is what I'm saying. In related news, I'm having cataract surgery in 2 weeks. Woo-hoo! Anybody had it? I'm sorry, don't raise your hand. It's not like I can see you anyway if you did it. Don't do that. It's actually my eyesight. I don't drive so well at night. It's actually why I went out and bought a red SUV. I figure if I can't see you, at least you can see me coming. You know? And you should watch out. You really should. But here's what I knew I needed to kind of get serious about cataract surgery, because during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of virtual shows. And you know, they have these, like now you have the names of people on the screens and I can never see the names. I can't read the names. So I would say things like, hey, Mary, you know what I mean, girl? And I'm like, I didn't know if there was a Mary there. I just took a shot because it was like a common name. And I just hoped someone would answer me. And then, you know, at work in the parking lot and people be yelling across like, hey, Tara. And I'm like, hey, Mary. And Mary got close and it was like Mike from accounting. Like I was like, I don't know. When did Mike get hips? I didn't know. But then the killer for me is I knew I really needed to do it is I went to the ATM and I accidentally hit the Spanish language option.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I couldn't get out of it. Oh. But thanks to Miss Lillian Rigaud, who taught me Spanish at Bushwick High School in Brooklyn more than 30 years ago, and taught me how to conjugate a Spanish verb, I was able to do that transaction. Shout out to teachers. Give it up for teachers. Woo! Yeah. She also taught me that Tegucigalpa was the capital of Honduras. And I never thought that I need to know that. But after that little ATM fiasco, I don't know anymore. So maybe we're going to Honduras. You know, listen, can we talk about anybody here back in the office working? Anybody going back? Everybody was remote working. Anybody back in the office working? Okay, I am.
Yeah, just one person. Big Mike,
Just
you
one
in the
person.
office, aren't you?
I ain't never left the office.
Okay, well, for those of you who were working in the office, do you remember that time when you would get to the office? Like if you got to the office late, you would try to slip in and hope no one saw you. But then if you got there early, you wanted everybody to know you got to work early, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't sleep one night, and I just got up and just went to work real early in the morning. It was like 6:30 in the morning. Now, here's the thing. I told you earlier, I don't drive well at night. Spoiler alert, it's dark at 6:30 in the morning. So I don't recommend doing that. So I get to work at 6:30. Now I want credit for this, right? So I'm roaming the halls looking to see who I can see. And I see Mary, who's like 200 feet away. And I'm like, hey, Mary. Hey, girl. Look, I'm about to put on some coffee because I've been here since 6:30. You want some? And Mary's looking at you like you crazy for a couple of reasons, because she's always there at 6:30. She's one of those employees, right? And she's wondering why you're there so early when you average about 8:45 when you should be there at 8. Right? You should be there at 8 a.m. I'm like, I get there within the 8 o'clock hour, potato. You know what I mean? And then you find reasons to bring up that you came in early when no one's asking you. Like you'll be in a meeting and Sam will say, you know, the projections for next quarter are looking really good. And you're like, Sam, excuse me, I am so sorry to interrupt you, but it's funny you should say that. Because this morning at 6:30 when I was here, I was thinking the same thing, that the projections for next quarter are looking really, really good. That's funny you should say that. That's okay, you can carry on, right? And then the reverse of that is true, right? Like if you stay late, you want credit for staying late. And so but this one gets a little more trickier because you have to, people, like you said, a lot of people are working from home. So you got to get a little more crafty with this. So you do things like send an email that is absolutely useless, other than the fact that it's time stamped for a time when you should be not working, right? So now it's 7:30 p.m. And you're like, hey, Sam, you're probably home with your family. I'm still at the office. I just wanted you to know that if you come in tomorrow and that pen that was on the floor in your office is now on your desk, I put it there. Because I didn't want you to stab yourself in the foot, right? So I'll see you tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. And then for good measure, you go to the parking lot and you start taking selfies with your car because it's like the only one in the parking lot. And then you put it on social media like hashtag working late, right? Hashtag employee of the month. So needless to say, I slept in the next morning. I didn't do that again. We don't do that. And listen, speaking of employee of the month, can we just make a decision right here that people who unnecessarily hit reply all to emails should never, ever, ever be employee of the month, right?
Yes.
Because their decision-making skills are faulty at best. And I'm trying to get something implemented at my job where we just remind people not to do that. Like, I think we have digital signage up around the building. I feel like we should put like a circle with the words and a line through it with the words, reply all. So remind people not to do it. And then for us, we have like we have like these stands around to remind people about social distancing. And it says, be smart, stay 6 feet apart. Sterling, there's that marketing you said you're not so good at. Yeah. And, and I like, people like things that rhyme. So this could work. So then I had the thought that maybe we could say, don't have the gall to hit reply all, right? Like, I think that could work. So I'm trying to get that going at my job. Another thing I noticed, can we just talk about these aggressive tactics that are happening at supermarkets? Like when you go to check out and they ask you, do you want to round up for charity? Who says no to that, right? it's just like, now don't get me wrong, I am a charitable person. I just don't like to feel pressure to give to charity, and then, and I'm feeling this pressure because the lady in front of me just rounded up her change for charity. The guy behind me is looking at me like, really, you're not going to round up for charity? Now, look, if my purchase comes to $10.99, that penny, that's all you. You got that, right? But if it comes to 801, I got to think about that because I don't always have round up money, So then I tried to flip it on her and I was like, well, which charities are these going to? And she snort. I love to snort. And she was like, the American Heart Association or the American Cancer Society. And I was like, those are both good and worthwhile charities, but they got a couple of dollars behind them. And if not, they can go borrow some from Big Pharma, who keeps hitting me for prescription meds every month. I know they're loaded, right? So then I said, well, can I decide which charity it goes to? Because I would like to donate it to the National Association of People Who Don't Judge People by what they have in their shopping carts. Because I'm pretty sure I saw you roll your eyes when you saw my Haagen-Dazs. But did you see I have artichoke in there? I got some artichoke in there too, because I believe in balance.
Yes.
So at my supermarket, they don't even ask me to round up for charity anymore. And they just gave me the website, the Instacart. Like, they don't even want me back. And then I had to go home and Google how to cook artichoke, because I don't know. I just put it in there for show. All right, people, that's enough for me.
Sarah Brown, everybody.
Thank you.
Sarah Brown, everybody.
Thank you.
I came to work just to get paid, just to get paid. I showed up for work today just to get paid, just to get paid. I don't want to respond to your emails. Don't include me. Has nothing to do with me. I don't want to buy no fancy clothes from the shelf. I get it all from Walmart by myself. I showed up to work today just to get paid, just to get paid. I just showed up to work today just to get paid, just to get paid. Where's my respect? You haven't clocked in yet, I'm here so early. Where's my coffee and my trophy? Do I get an extra day off of work? Boss man, I stay late today. Where's my pay? I just came to work today just to get paid, just to get paid. I showed up for work today just to get paid, just to get paid. And no, I don't want to give you what I worked for. Don't ask me for a donation at the grocery store or at the 7-Eleven. I need all my money, you see, because I showed up for work today just to get paid. Oh, $7.25 a day. I just showed up for work today just to get paid, just to get paid. No, I can't give you any dollars out my wallet. I only use the plastic while you're all up on it. I'm not gonna give you my PIN number, don't you shun me, because I don't have no covers. I only have my mother that makes me iron my shirt for work today. I only put on this tie so you give me a raise. I showed up for work today just to get paid. Write some jokes about all of you that you'll never hear, you'll never say. that I did you that way. I just came to get paid.
Yay!
Have a good night, Nite Brite family.